I wanted to, obviously, whilst we're still speaking about music, it might be a little bit of a left turn. So I don't know if you guys are aware of the incident happened in Reading over the last 24, 48 hours.
Yeah, I saw the headline, but I didn't. I haven't really read into the story. I just saw what a lot of people were talking about. You know, how old is he? 13.
13. So it's R.I.P to Oliver Stevens. Is the
rest in peace to
the young boy that passed away. So from what's been reported, young lady was seeing, girlfriend, whatever, had an issue. I hope that all these reports are accurate, because obviously we want to get to the truth of the matter.
Yeah,
had a minor issue over whatever.
Well, what's reported, or what I've seen, is that his girlfriend sent nudes to someone else, and obviously he was angered by it, so he told her off. So she didn't like that, so she, I think, paid someone to
£150 allegedly
£150 to harm this person. And he ends up being stabbed to death. A really sad story. Far too young to lose his life, far too young to be having those kind of issues. And prayers out to his family.
Yeah, bro. It's like they say, it's 4 boys and a girl, all aged 13 and 14, have been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder, and they will remain in custody. So there's no winners here. They're all children. They're kids. Yeah. You know. So I don't understand where this got to, or how this all worked out. Where, hold on. Where we get to this, where this happens. You know. Yeah. Yeah. Don't be shy, man. Pass me the punch, baby. We're talking about serious stuff, but shouts out to. Oh, you got something there? Thank you. Shouts out to Lisi's Run Punch. We back. I was saying last week that nobody wants to send us jumpers and hoodies and that. But man, I'm not an alcoholic, you know.
We're on a run.
This is it. This is the last one. Yeah. Unless you want to send man fucking do saying that. Cheers. Yeah. Oh, one of them cups from my house. Yes, damn right. Alert, man. Alert, man. Get out of here, man. I get out of here, man.
Heavily sanitized.
Yeah, heavily sanitized. There's no winners, bruv, with this thing here, you know. Yeah. And it because of, unfortunately, which I didn't like, the images of the kids was displayed all over social media, innit? Right. So it weirdly enough started creating a conversation around the influences of drill music, and because some of the poses, masks, and hoodies up. Yeah. Yeah. Which I didn't understand and get at all, but we're here, so let's have the chat. White, probably middle class area, we're assuming, we could be wrong. Outside of London, probably doesn't have the same level of
Reading, right?
In Reading, yeah. Okay. The same level of violence that inner city London probably has and has had over the years. So it's almost like people are blaming our music on them having this issue.
Oh, having a negative impact.
Yes, having a negative impact on these kids outside of London, and now this young child has lost his life. Right. You know. I just wanted to kind of have the conversation with you guys in regards to where you're at. I know it's obviously quite wide-reaching, and it's something that we've discussed many times over. And prior to drill, there was grime, and there was gangster rap, and there was all these things. So
yeah, I just think that I think it's quite dangerous to just go to that as your first point of call. Oh yeah, this is the reason why white kids are inciting violence on themselves. You've had that narrative on us. Have a different reason for their issues. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? That. Why are we in the frame for what's going on over there?
Yeah, you're doing the white man's job for them. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
you're just trying to get me drunk, bruv. We back to work, you know. She's trying to get me drunk, bro.
Yeah. So
I know it's a lot. It's loaded. So I don't know if you remember around the time of the riots in 2011. Yeah. 2011. There's a historian called David Stark, who was on. It might have been BBC, and he was talking about inner city issues, and he said the whites have now become black. That was a soundbite.
Right.
So, and I'm quoting him correctly. That's what he said. He said it and he really meant it. You know, it's always interesting when either perpetrators or victims of certain things don't come from our community, how it comes back around to us, you know. And I don't want to politicize this young child's life and their death, because it's a loss of life at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's sad all across the board, regardless of what influenced it or not. But when I saw that online, I was like, you guys maybe don't realize what you're actually doing here. Now, is there a conversation to be had about outside of London, outside of America, outside of big cities and smaller communities of white people, how they look at black people? My always go-to example is 50 Cent is massive, not just because, of course, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Interscope Machine. The story, bro, he got shot 9 times. It's kind of sexy.
Yeah.
This nigga might die in front of us.
Yeah.
I'm being dead serious.
Yeah, that's why he wore a bulletproof vest everywhere. It
and the marketing, they played up to it. So it's like, but who, like, yes, when you go diamond, it's not just black people that invest in. We're definitely heavily invested from the hood, mixtapes, 50, all that stuff. Very much so. Rap, hip hop, we loved it. But the wider community loved him as well, innit? And why did they love him?
Do you know how many Estonians I saw at his concert?
That is so random.
It was so random, bro.
Oh no, his Europe trip was mad.
Yeah,
Fam,
yeah.
like
50 can still do world tours. I'm with Vans, and it also led to my point of like, you reach so many people because of it's like, this thing is sexy. But from an entertainment point of view, cool. I maybe hear you lot, but it's very real for us. And now it's become possibly real for you over here. And now we're having this conversation. So it all circles back to things like all these weird little street blogs, all these weird little YouTube channels. When you actually see the kids behind them that talk about like inner city London beef and this person to respond to that person and chefings and this, they don't look like us, bro. And why are they so horny for that beef?
Yeah, and
because it's black trauma.
Yeah, and it's not in their environment.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying? So like they do the research. That like,
and they're well versed, bro.
Yeah,
like they be showing me. I was like, swear it down. My man clap my man. I was like, how did you know?
Yeah.
Also, were you getting nudes at 13?
Sorry?
Were you getting nudes at 13?
Is that where you went, bro?
13.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
But that's their age now. That's their, bro, their smartphone era, so.
Yeah, they're being exposed to a lot.
Yeah.
So like nudes is a thing. Like they're having relationships where they're sending nudes.
And I hear my man still, like, don't send no one nudes in that.
Bro, at 13, like, you couldn't even ring my house phone, cuz.
But my mum will report you to your mum and that.
Bro, my house phone was attached to my mum's hip like a mobile. You couldn't ring my house phone and get away with it. You crazy?
Especially when you had the cordless one.
Fam. Oh, bro. When it went cordless, it was lit.
Bro.
House phone where?
Yeah, man's down. I'm just doing my homework. Hi, Chantel, I'll call you back.
Pick up the phone. Like, what are you doing, dear?
Yes.
Your mother aware of this? I didn't even do nothing.
And do you know what? Like, just thinking about his parents, someone telling them the story about how their son passed away is crazy. Like, how are they gonna wrap their head around that?
Like purely trivial.
Like literally 3 steps.
And this is what even upsets me more. So one, they're super young, dumb, don't know what's going on. They don't understand the magnitude of this thing they're playing with. So they might be posturing, trying to play up to maybe what they've seen. Let's argue what they listen to in music and from music videos or movies or games, whatever. You ain't built like that to know what's really happening outside. But that posturing has cost someone's life, and now it's probably going to change the course of your life forever. Because I was saying earlier, there's no winner here, innit?
No.
Like, you don't. I believe they don't know what's going on, what they've really done. When it really, really sinks in, you know, of course, that child's lost their life, they're still here, but you're gonna, we didn't lose at 13, 14 and going to, and because of it's gonna be a national story, don't ever get twisted, that family, as they should do, is gonna make sure they get justice. Yeah. It's not gonna be like us little nignogs over here, when our children die and like, we don't have nothing, we don't have no justice, you know, because obviously we don't snitch on all these things. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. I heard you.
You know? And it's also lenses that stuff about like good victims, you know? And it's annoying because, like I said earlier, I'm invalidating. I'm saying I don't want to politicize this child's life and death. But this is where we're at. because of this weird conversation happening online in regards to like music. Now, if I be frank, violence existed prior to drill, grime. They said the same thing. Gangsta rap in America, etc., etc. Does it play a part? Yes. And if anyone denies that, you're capping for me. Man's in a new era shot, bare cap. Like hella cap.
There's criminal activities in all these predominantly white areas, anyways. You know, music or not.
You're gonna
know what I'm
that.
saying?
Obviously, there's specific
you
stuff
go to
happens in
certain
inner
areas
cities.
in Liverpool. You go certain places in Manchester, predominantly white areas. Violence.
Wherever there's poverty, there's always been a violence issue in London. Historic, I'm talking like early 1900s. It's poverty. You've got a big wealth divide, so you're gonna get that. People don't have, and then there are context and nuances why it will it'll be different over the years, but that's the core of it all, innit? You know, so that's one thing I think people need to understand. But like I said, I will admit that there's a specific type of thing that happens because the music can exacerbate these issues. So a lot of these kids, for me, don't have issues prior. It gets magnified and played out through the music. So it's almost like, how can you be a drill rapper without an op? It's only so long you can rapping about an imaginary op till you have an op. See what I'm saying? And you're taunting each other via the music. So music is a vehicle for a lot of your beef. People just don't want to obviously admit to that and own up to that. But if you take away the music completely, the violence isn't going to stop. You know, so I think that's also a cop out and a lazy approach to a problem which has like a lot of different possible solutions. Because if it was that easy, I would have just done it. That's how I look at it. If it was that straightforward, because the way people talk about it, how I look at it is that it's very simple. Okay, cool, just ban the music. Then do it. Then it's not going to change anything. You know, so yeah, I'm very worried about like how we're viewed outside of London and how that plays out. And I do feel like all these like cultural conversation, like gatekeeping and stuff, I don't know how we do it, but I do think we have to do a better job of possibly like protecting our backyard a bit. Like these Donnies can't just like create these platforms and we just kind of sit by idly, you know. And it's hard for me to say because the internet's the internet. It's kids watching this stuff, but
yeah, you're
exacerbating these problems. I know some people say it's journalism and stuff, but I don't believe like these street blogs. A lot of this stuff is journalism. When it comes to that, if we're talking like our such and such cheating scandals, like cool, do your Shade Borough type stuff or UK gossip, but when it comes to lives and stuff, I'm always gonna kind of draw a line in the sand and be like, yeah, I'm not really rocking with that.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, it's sad, man. Rest in peace to that young boy. 13 years old is far too young.
Far too young. And trivial. There's no issue there, bro. Like, cool. And what do you gain as lady going like, I don't want to like hurt him, but I want someone to stab him. Because I think it's a game.
Yeah, lock her up, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Start there.
Yeah, in fact, now she's going to jail.
Yeah.
It's funny that she can still come out.
Yeah, because their age, they're gonna. Yeah.
But that's on her conscience, isn't it? That's for her to live with later on down the line, innit? Mm-hmm. So, you know, one day she'll become a responsible adult. We hope, and that's just gonna eat at her, innit? Like for her part in it. You know, you didn't deliver the fatal blow, but you incited it, you instigated it, you created that
out of nowhere as well.
You know, so
you fucking sending nudes as well, Jezebel.
Just call her Jezzy.
Jezebel specifically.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, man.
Yeah.
So